This is a screencast of an EdPuzzle assignment that I created for a kindergarten class about rocks, and I'm just going to show you how to watch this video as a student. So here I'm on my EdPuzzle account, and this is the assignment that I've created, and I'm just going to watch it as a student. And I'm going to show, that it will work. Also, that you can't skip assignments and that you have to answer all the questions.
Hi guys, Squeaks and I are checking out our rock collection. Ooh, it's a nice one. Now, some people might wonder why we collect rocks. I mean, a rock's a rock, right? Well, you've probably noticed that rocks don't all look the same. Some of them have speckles or little bits of what look like glue.
Remember how we talked about rocks that have glitter in our exploration of rocks the other day? Who remembers what those kinds of rocks are called?
This is just wait time for them to answer.
Glitter, and some of them are just one color. And rocks don't feel the same either. Some are coarse and gritty, and some are smooth.
We learned some other words that are used to describe rocks. Say them with me. Smooth, flat, bumpy, shiny, and rough. Pay attention throughout this video to see what kinds of rocks we are looking at.
It turns out there are thousands of different rocks. So you could build a really big rock collection if you tried. But among all those thousands of rocks, scientists organize them into three main groups. These groups are called igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic.
Say them with me. Igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic. You are going to learn a little bit more about each of these rocks.
And each group is based on how a rock actually forms in nature. That's right, everything comes from somewhere. Even rocks. For example, igneous rocks form when magma, the liquid rock under the surface of the earth, hardens. You know about magma. It can erupt from volcanoes. Once magma comes above ground, it's called lava. And when this hot, melted rock cools and hardens, whether it's above ground, like on the side of a volcano, or deep underground, it becomes igneous rock. Now,
so this is a question. What is magma called that hardens above the Earth's surface? This is just kind of like a comment question or a free response. I would ask this question to my class, and whoever just raised their hand would be able to answer. And then this second picture is my comment with an image of obsidian, which is another kind of metamorphic or igneous rock.
Now, sedimentary rock forms when other rocks break down. This happens a lot, actually, all the time, but it happens really slowly. Sedimentary rocks are...
So this is a question. We were discovering what kinds of words we can use to describe rocks, and I kind of mentioned them earlier. There's smooth, shiny, rough, flat, and bumpy. And so I would have them just look at this picture and vote, I guess, which kind of rock it would be. The answer is rough.
Often form in water because they're made of pressed together parts from other rocks that were broken up and carried away by things like rivers and streams. As a river passes over the land, it wears down the rock beneath it into tiny broken pieces called sediment. Eventually, all that sediment settles to the bottom of the water and builds up. And over time, pressure pushes down on the sediment, squeezing the pieces together, tighter and tighter, until they form a new rock, a sedimentary rock.
So this is a question. True or false? Sandstone is a type of sedimentary rock. That's true. We explored what some kinds of sandstone rocks look like and feel like in class already. And we've also discussed how it is made of sand that is pressed together, like this video describes. So the answer to this question would be true. Sandstone is a type of sedimentary rock. And then this question, where are sedimentary rocks sometimes formed? That was answered in the video, and it is in rivers. If it was inside the earth, it would be igneous or metamorphic.
Finally, metamorphic rocks are rocks that have gone through a big change. Remember when we talked about caterpillars turning into butterflies? That process is called metamorphosis. And metamorphosis just means changing shape. And that's exactly what these metamorphic rocks have done. They change when they're exposed to things like really high heat or really intense pressure, or sometimes both. This usually happens deep within the earth, where rocks can get squished, bent, folded, but not melted. So those are the three main kinds of rocks. But how can you tell one from the other? It can be pretty hard, but sometimes we can find clues in the rock about how it formed, from how it looks or feels.
So I would use that as kind of an introduction into the next activity that we would do in class, which would be to look at different kinds of rocks based off of what they look like and how they feel, and try to determine what kind of rock they are, whether they are igneous, sedimentary, or metamorphic.